A pleasant Good Friday evening to all of you. Welcome to Bob Stein Stadium at Lynn Cottrell Park in the heart of the North Georgia Mountains at UNG, where Peach Belt Conference baseball is on the air. It's prime time for Game 1 of a 3-game series between the Salem University Tigers and the North Georgia Nighthawks. And hello everyone, Robert DiClemente here alongside Cooper Wow and the rest of the Nighthawk Sports Network crew. We're glad to have you with us. North Georgia has been rolling here in the bottom half of their regular season, winning 9 of their last 10 and 5 in a row, coming off of a series sweep of Flagler, highlighted by a walk-off 7-6 win in Game 3, courtesy of Riley Frost after he drove home Brady Skipper after a leadoff triple in the bottom of the 9th. And Cooper, with the Nighthawks sitting at 23-16, things have been clicking at just the right time for this team.
Absolutely, not a worse time that you could possibly start to get hot with conference play, conference tournament, and playoffs looming very, very soon, very near into the future. So we'll have to see if they can keep this up, see if they can gain some ground in the Peach Belt Conference, maybe.
So the Nighthawks looking for their 6th straight win of the season tonight. The Tigers with a chance to match their win total from last season. With a W here tonight, we should be in for plenty of action here in game number 1. Glad you decided to join us today. We'll step aside for the national anthem and return for first pitch here in Dahlonega. It's Nighthawks versus Tigers coming your way on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Here in Dahlonega, we treasure our history.
We treasure our waterfalls.
We treasure our wine.
But most of all, we treasure our guests.
We are a family.
We treasure our community.
And we're an experience for you to discover.
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 The heart of the Georgia mountains.
The heart of the Georgia mountains.
Discover the heart of the Georgia mountains.
The mountains are open.
We're ready for lineups and first pitch. We've got Nighthawks versus the Tigers on Friday Night Lights here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Here's who head coach J.T. Heenan has etched in the batting order for Salem University. Leading things off is going to be number 1, Luis Angarita, followed by number 25, Brett Ayer, followed by number 29, Caden Zacharias, and then Nathan Cohen, and then Tyler Shin, Sam Schmidt, Trey Hissam, Ben Matos, Jose Lojo is going to round out the batting order for the Tigers here today. And here's what North Georgia is going to be looking like defensively on the field. From first to third base, it's going to be Edwin Bowman, Connor Frost, and Jace Bowen. And then over at short, it's going to be Riley Frost. From right to left field, it's going to be Tim Conway, Andrew Sopata, and Justin Bailey over there in left. And behind the plate for North Georgia is going to be number 4, Jack Davis. And getting the start on the mound for the Nighthawks is Wes Lott. And Lott this season with a 4.33 ERA. He's pitched 54 innings for North Georgia. He's got 50 hits. 26 runs have been scored when he's on the mound, and he's struck out 37 batters as well. He's held his opponents to a 244 batting average. We are ready to get underway here at the Steiner. As we mentioned, Angarita is going to be leading things off for the Tigers.
Westlock gets that one in there outside, ball one.
Angarita this season, he's got a 285 batting average in his 130 appearances at the plate. He's got 37 hits, as that one's going to be popped up.
Tim Conway should have that one, and he does.
So we got the first out here in the top of the first inning. And now Brett Ayer stepping into the batter's box for the Tigers.
Westlot has a 4.40 ERA this season, and he's 3-1. Pretty good among the Nighthawks pitching roster.
And Lott pitches a ball there. The count's going to be 1-0 for Ayer. Ayer with a 218 batting average. He's got 22 hits, 10 RBIs. Looking for his first homer of the season. He tips this one foul. The count's going to be 1-1. And this game one between the Nighthawks and the Tigers pushed back an hour due to some inclement weather here in Dahlonega. We've got some pretty good weather right now at 6 p.m. It's a little cloudy, but the sun is peeking through a bit.
A little bit of rain earlier in the day.
Now it's
set
gonna be
him back
up high into center field. And that's going to be a routine play there for Bailey. Steps up, makes the play, giving us 2 outs here in the top of the first.
Number 29, Caden Zacharias.
And now Caden Zacharias stepping up into the batter's box for the Tigers. Zacharias this season, a 308 batting average. This is his 121st appearance at the plate. He's got 37 hits, 21 RBIs. And he's got a homer underneath his belt as well.
It's a called strike there. This will be 0-1 for him.
And the 0-1 pitch from Lott. That one's going to be tipped and fouled. So now it's a quick 0-2 count for Caden Zacharias. Still got some fans piling in here to the Steiner to watch game one action between North Georgia and Salem. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Lott. That one's going to be low and outside. It's a 1-2 count for Zacharias. Nighthawks trying to get a quick 3 up, 3 down. The 1-2 pitch. That one's going to be tipped and fouled by Zacharias. Count stays at 1-2.
Looks like he hesitated on the swing there for a moment. Needs to defend the plate, keep the inning alive.
Get a hold of that one, and he does get a hold of that one, but that one's going to be hitting the foul territory. Count staying at 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch from Lott. That one's going to be inside for strike 3. So North Georgia holding the Tigers scoreless here in the top of the first. We'll see if the Nighthawks can strike first. When we come back, Jace Bowen's going to lead things off. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
With 6 locations across Northeast Georgia, Howard Brothers Outdoor Power Equipment and Hardware is trusted by both professional landscapers and residential homeowners for all their outdoor equipment needs. To learn more about the family-owned business that keeps Georgia green, visit howardbrothers.com. Bryan Properties is a commercial real estate brokerage firm serving Northeast Georgia. Located in nearby Cumming, Georgia, Bryan Properties specializes in commercial real estate along the Georgia 400 corridor. For more information on Bryan Properties, visit bryanproperties.net. The UNG bookstore is operated by Barnes & Noble and is located in the Chastity Building beside Starbucks in downtown Dahlonega. Fans and students can visit in person or online at ung.bncollege.com for all your Nighthawk apparel and textbook needs for the upcoming season.
Back with you here in Dahlonega. We've got a matchup between North Georgia and Salem University here in the bottom of the first. Jace Bowen's going to lead things off for North Georgia, as he has been all season long for the Nighthawks. Here's what the rest of the batting order looks like for North Georgia. Following Bowen's going to be Riley Frost, and then three straight seniors in Tim Conway, Nick Levensteins, and Connor Frost. Then Edwin Bowman, Justin Bailey, Andrew Sopata, and Jack Davis is going to round out the batting order for North Georgia. And Bowen sees a strike go past him there for his first pitch of the evening. Count's going to be 0-1. They're going to have to face off against Jared Lund, who's on the mound for the Tigers. Lund this season with a 2.70 ERA. He's pitched just over 43 innings for the Tigers. He's allowed 40 hits this season, 13 of those being earned. He struck out 44 batters as well, allowed just one home run, as that pitch is going to hit Bowen. So now Riley Frost is going to step up for North Georgia. Frost has been on a tear here in this second half of the season for North Georgia. Frost and Bowen, the top two hitters in the Peach Ball Conference. Bowen with 54 this year. Frost right behind him in second place with 52. Frost still waiting for his first pitch. And he sees a strike right down the middle. Count's going to be 0-1. We mentioned Frost being on a tear here, rounding out the season. Another pickoff attempt there at first. He's got a .335 batting average. This is a 156 appearance at the plate. He's got, as we just mentioned, 52 hits, second in the Peach Ball Conference. He's got 32 RBIs to lead this team. He's got 4 home runs as well. Those 4 home runs, the most on North Georgia, and he sees another pitch right down the middle. Count's going to be 0-2.
Lund sets and delivers.
Now it's going to be popped up high into left field. And there were 3 Tigers around that one, but a play is going to be made here for the first out in the bottom of the first. And here comes the senior, Tim Conway. Conway this season with a .298 batting average. This is his 58th appearance at the plate. He's got 17 hits, 12 RBIs, and 2 home runs this year. And there's going to be another pickoff attempt there at first. Lund has had his eye over at Bowen on first.
Likely trying to get that out back from the hit by pitch.
Bowen's definitely a threat to steal a base as well, so he's got pitchers' heads on a swivel whenever he's on base. And the count's going to be 1-0 for Tim Conway. 1-0 pitch. That one's going to be inside for a strike. Counts moving to 1-1 for Conway. And Coach Cantrell rolled with 3 seniors back-to-back-to-back here in the batting order for North Georgia, with Conway Levensteins, who's on deck as the designated hitter for North Georgia, and then Connor Frost following up Levensteins. Another pickoff attempt at first we just saw. Count still 1-1 for Tim Conway. And the 1-1 pitch. That one's going to be swung on hard and missed by Conway. Counts moving to 1-2. As Lund gets his signal, here comes the 1-2 pitch. Not quite yet. Another pickoff attempt there at first. And Coop, you're exactly right. He's trying to get that out back.
Doesn't help that he's having to stare him down every time that he goes back to the mound.
And
that's
Bowen taking
why
off
he
for
was
second.
picking off.
But he is going to be out over there at second. So Bowen not quite making it there on time. And Lund's persistence paid off there. The throw to second on time, tagging Bowen out. And now we got 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. A 2-2 count for Tim Conway. And that one's going to be hit well into left field. Conway's getting the base hit here for North Georgia, their first hit here in game number 1.
And that pickoff attempt, it was a good throw by Tyler Shin behind the plate to make sure that was there in time, but also in a spot where the fielder could make a play and apply a tag onto Jace Bowen.
So here comes Nick Levenstein stepping into the batter's box for North Georgia. He's got a .261 batting average. This is his 47th appearance at the plate. He's got 12 hits, a home run, 15 RBIs underneath his belt, and Levenstein has missed some time, or a decent amount of time with injury this season, but it's great to see him getting back into the swing of things in the starting lineup for North Georgia. And the 1-0 pitch to Levenstein, that one's going to be outside. Counts moving to 2-0. Lund still got his eye over on first now with Conway over there. So we got another pickoff attempt. And the 2-0 pitch to Levenstein. That one's going to be a high into center field. And that's going to be caught over and left. So that's going to bring us to 3 outs here in the bottom of the first, taking us to the second. It's still a 0-0 ball game between North Georgia and the Tigers. We'll see who is able to get on the board first when we return. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Chick-fil-A of Dahlonega is the presenting sponsor of the Nighthawk of the Week program. From supporting local charities to hosting school spirit nights, Chick-fil-A restaurants are committed to giving back in ways that are most meaningful to their customers. If you're looking for great food nearby, it is Chick-fil-A's pleasure to serve you. United Logistics is a veteran-owned and relationship-driven company with a goal of being an integral part of the community, providing safe transportation and shipping solutions, and being recognized as one of the leading providers of transportation nationwide. Visit unitedlogistics.net for more information. Established in 1984 in nearby Clermont, Georgia, the Chattahoochee Group is a local company that's grown to include construction, streetscaping, modular walls, metal buildings, disposal, concrete, sports field installation, site work, and more. To learn more about the Chattahoochee Group's wide range of project offerings, visit chatgroupinc.com.
Back with you here in Dahlonega. It is still a scoreless ball game through the first as we head to the second, where Nathan Kuhn is going to lead things off for the Tigers. And Kuhn this season, we'll have his stats pulled up for you here in just a second. In the meantime, he sees a ball go past him there. The count's going to be 1-0 for Kuhn.
That one's hit high down the right side. It's one of the foul poles.
So the count's going to be 1-1 for Kuhn. Now 2-1. He sees another ball go past him there from West Lot. And the 2-1 pitch. That one's going to be swung on and missed. Count's going to be 2-2. And Kuhn this season with a .310 batting average that leads the team. He's got 23 runs, 35 hits, 23 RBIs, and 3 home runs. Those RBIs and home runs the most on his team, but Lott wins that matchup, gets the strikeout.
Now about number 7, Tyler Shin.
Now Tyler Shin up to bat for the Tigers. Shin this year, a .279 batting average, and he's got 19 hits, 14 RBIs, and he's still looking for his first home run of the season. Sees a strike. Go past him there. Counts 0-1 for Sheen. He swings hard and misses on that one. Count's going to be 0-2. And to open up this game, North Georgia's doing a good job of making quick work of these Tigers batters.
Yes, Westlot's done a great job so far. That one missed its mark a little bit, but really the only pitch that hasn't hit the mitt of the catcher.
So now the count's going to be 1-2. Now it's going to be tipped and fouled back towards the net. It's staying at 1-2. As Lott gets a signal, here comes the 1-2 pitch. Now it's going to be popped up high into center field. And that one's going to be short. Opata makes the play, giving us 2 outs in the top of the second.
Number 4, Sam Schmidt.
So now Sam Schmidt stepping into the batter's box for the Tigers. And Schmidt this season, he's got a .197 batting average. This is his 67th appearance at the plate. 13 hits, 11 RBIs, and a home run for Schmidt this season. Count's going to be 0-1 for Schmidt. And here comes the pitch from Lott, and he gets Schmidt swinging on that one. A bit of a delayed swing there from Schmidt. Nice pitch from Lott. Now it's a quick 0-2 count. And here comes the pitch. That one's going to be high and outside. Count's moving to 1-2. Tigers are looking to put a runner on for the first time this evening. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and another swing and a miss there. Lott getting another strikeout here in this game early, and that's going to take us to the bottom of the second, where it's still a scoreless ball game between North Georgia and Salem University. You're watching North Georgia baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
How do you create something that's different than everyone else? You do it differently than everyone else. Here at Copeland Creative, we specialize in telling captivating stories of wild people, wild things, and wild places. We don't just capture the story, we immerse ourselves in it. We are a diverse, multi-talented media house based in North Georgia, and if you have a story that needs told, we want to help you tell it.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
Back with you here in Dahlonega, where Connor Frost is going to lead things off for North Georgia. It is still scoreless here through an inning and a half at Lynn Control Park. We'll see if North Georgia's going to be the first one to break this game open, and Frost sees a strike right down the middle. Count's going to be 0-1. And Connor Frost this season, a .211 batting average. This is his 134th appearance at the plate. He's got 28 hits and 21 RBIs, looking for his first home run of the season. It's now a quick 0-2 count after a couple of nice pitches thrown there. Now it's going to be outside. Counts moving to 1-2. And the duo of Connor Frost and Justin Bailey, two seniors on this team, as that one's going to be grounded into shallow right. The throw to first is going to be there on time. And we were just mentioning that duo between Frost and Bailey, ranking in the top 10 in the Peach Belt in sacrifice bunts. And these have become staples for these two very unselfish players who are willing to sacrifice some of their power to advance runners on base. So now Edwin Bowman stepping up to the plate for the first time this evening. Bowman has got a .281 batting average, his 115th appearance at the plate. He sees a ball go past him there. Count's going to be 1-0. He's got 32 hits, 16 RBIs, and a home run for himself this season. And he gets this one down in right field, and that's going to be a base hit for Edwin Bowman. Here comes the senior, Justin Bailey. We just mentioned Justin Bailey a few moments ago. Bailey, very unselfish player here on this North Georgia squad. He's got a .304 batting average. Got 35 hits, 20 RBIs, and 3 home runs as well. And we mentioned sacrifice bunts have become a staple in Bailey's game, but he's definitely not afraid to let one fly over the wall.
Absolutely. Still got to be careful in pitching to this guy because you never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. He can get a perfectly placed Bailey bunt up the left field line, or he's able to get one out over the left field wall as well. That's what he's been favoring most this season. Another pickoff attempt there at first. Counts 0-1 for Bailey. And the 0-1 pitch. That one's driven high into left field. And that's going to be a play made there by the left fielder. That's going to advance Bowman to second. And that one from Bailey almost had enough to get over.
I mean, you just were talking about it. The 3 home runs he's got, you know, stack bunts, but you really got to be careful. You can't play a shift. You can't play in. You don't really want to play back because that ball can go far or it can be a bunt. So,
absolutely. Bailey keeping his opponents on his toes. Same thing with Andrew Sopata, who's up to bat for North Georgia. Opata this season, a .297 batting average. Got 35 hits, 13 RBIs, and a home run for himself. And he sees a pitch low and outside of the zone. Count's going to be 1-0. Opata ranks 5th in the Peach Belt Conference with 15 stolen bases this season. And so whenever he's on base, he is always a threat to make a break for it. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Opata, and he tips this one high and behind the net. Count, it's going to be 1-1. one. Got his eye over on second. A lot of movement by the second baseman over there. Now it's going to be tipped and fouled by Opata. Counts moving to 1-2. Opata's got Jack Davis on deck, who rounds out the batting order for the Nighthawks. Got that runner on second in Bowman. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That one's going to get away from the catcher, and Bowman's going to slide into third. Now making things a bit easier for Opata if he's able to get something down in the outfield. But as Coop, you would say,
deuces are wild.
Deuces are indeed running wild here at the Steiner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And the 2-2 pitch to Opata. That one's going to hit Opata in the foot. So now runners are going to be on the corners for Jack Davis.
And Jared Lunn and the Tigers honestly got a little bit lucky right there, because I think that one was going to get by the catcher either way. But since it hit Opata, it was a dead ball, and Bowman was unable to take home. But, you know, that's not a dead ball. Nighthawks lead 1-0.
The Tigers, as you mentioned, definitely catching a break there, but now Lund's going to have to face off against Jack Davis, a .211 batting average. He's got 16 hits, 16 RBIs, and he's got 2 home runs underneath his belt as well. He sees a strike go by him there. The count's going to be 0-1, and Davis rounding out the batting order for North Georgia. He is still a threat to get one over as well. We saw him get a grand slam rounding out the batting order for the Nighthawks just a few games ago.
Yep.
And the 0-1 pitch to Davis. That one's driven high into center field. And another play is going to be made by the Tigers outfield. Great play there. Holds the Nighthawks scoreless in the bottom of the second, and that's going to take us to the third, where it's still a 0-0 ball game between the Nighthawks and the Tigers. You're watching North Georgia baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
She has her whole life in front of her and already has a world-class heart team behind her. And so does every generation of her family, thanks to Georgia Heart Institute. Every day, our cardiologists, heart surgeons, and vascular surgeons bring breakthroughs that save and improve lives for generations. So whether you need heart care today or in 2073, we'll be here with the very best for your heart. Georgia Heart Institute.
Meet Harper. Harper was born to care and always had your back. Like the time she spotted a friend's rogue retainer, a threat of a permanent overbite, and made the save just in time.
I got you. Thanks.
Today, Harper still has your back as a teammate at Truist, the bank with Truist One checking.
I got you. Thanks.
With no overdraft fees, a negative balance buffer, and automatic upgrades, it's the checking account that has your back.
Back with you here in Dahlonega as we head to the top of the third between North Georgia and Salem University. It's still scoreless here in this one. We'll see if the Tigers are able to draw blood first here with number 36, Ben Amados, leading things off for the Tigers. And Matos this season, a .266 batting average. This is his 80th appearance at the plate. Matos is going to be on deck for Hissam, who is up to bat for the Tigers, leading things off. Hissam this season, a .262 batting average. He's got 16 hits, 12 RBIs, and a home run. And he swings and misses, and so Hissam, and now down quick 0-2 against West Lot. And the 0-2 pitch to Hissam, that one's going to be high and outside. Counts moving to 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch from Lott. Another strikeout there for West Lott, the sophomore, and he's been doing some damage on the
he's
mound.
Cooking right now up on the mound.
Now batting number 36, Ben Matos.
And now Ben Matos is stepping into the batter's box for the Tigers, a .266 batting average. This is his 80th appearance at the plate, 21 hits, 15 RBIs, looking for his first home run of the season. And he sees another great pitch from Wes Lott right down the middle. Count's going to be 0-1. Now it's going to be popped up into left field, but fouled. And now another quick 0-2 count for the Tigers. And the 0-2 pitch, that one's going to be well outside and low. Count's moving to 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch, that one's going to be fouled as well. Count's going to stay at 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch from Lott, that one's going to be grounded up the right field line. Bowman flipping to first, where Lott is there to make the play, giving us 2 outs here in the top of the third. And now Jose Lojo is going to lead things off.
Number 17, Jose Lojo.
Where he's stepping into the batter's box for the Tigers. Lojo this season, a .310 batting average. This is his 30th appearance at the plate. He's got 9 hits, 7 RBIs, and a homer this season. And he grounds this one near the Tigers' dugout. Count's going to be 0-1 for Lojo. And head coach for the Tigers, J.T. Heenan, in his second year at the helm of the baseball program, a former catcher for West Virginia University. He served as a graduate assistant coach over there, helping lead the Mountaineers to a regional division, NCAA Division I championship for the first time in over 20 years. And when he's not coaching baseball off the field, he's been an elementary and a high school special education teacher for the past 3 years. Now it's going to be grounded up the right field line, and another flip from Bowman to Lott over at first for the third out here in the top of the third, and that's going to take us to the bottom of the inning, where it's still a scoreless ball game between the Nighthawks and the Tigers, and you're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Back with you here in Dahlonega, where it's still a scoreless ball game between North Georgia and Salem University. The Nighthawks returning to the top of their batting order here with Jace Bowen leading things off for the Nighthawks. And he bunts this one, but it's going to be tipped and fouled. Count's going to be 0-1. Bowen's still ranking in the top 10 in batting average in the Peach Belt Conference, and he's remained in the top 10 all season long now with a .353 batting average. And he's been leading things off for North Georgia the entire season. That one's going to be tipped and fouled. Bowen now finds himself in an 0-2 count.
A little bit behind on those first 2 pitches, both with the bunt attempt and with the swing, so he's going to have to get to this one a little bit sooner.
And he
does it.
To the short. The throw to first going to be there on time. And so now Riley Frost stepping back up for North Georgia. And Cooper, we were talking during the commercial break, and you had an interesting stat about Wes Lott.
Yep. Westlot has gone through the Tigers batting order once now, and he's got 4 strikeouts to show for it. 3 of those were swinging. So
now it's going to be hit well into left field. And that ball is crushed by Riley Frost. And the AC's turning up. Riley Frost getting the bats warmed up for North Georgia. He slams that one over the left field wall. And the Nighthawks strike first here against Salem. It's a 1-0 ball game. And Frost has been on a tear here in the second half of the season for North Georgia. That is going to be home run number 5 for the sophomore. Still leads this team in home runs. Now he's got a 2-homer advantage over the senior Justin Bailey. And Conway now up to bat for North Georgia for the second time this evening. Conway had a hit last time you saw the plate. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Conway. That one's going to be outside as well. 2-0 count.
See if Tim Conway can find a way to top the hit that Riley Frost just had.
And we've seen before this season, Frost and Conway get back-to-back home runs. So I would not be surprised if we saw that here. But it's a 3-0 count for Tim Conway. And I do not expect to see him swing here unless he gets a perfect pitch. And that one's going to be down the middle from Lund for a strike. Counts moving to 3-1 for Tim Conway. And the 3-1 pitch, that one's going to be low for ball number 4, and so that's going to put a runner on first for Nick Levensteins. Levensteins looking for his first hit of the evening against the Tigers.
Number 21, Nick Levenstein.
And as we mentioned earlier, the Nighthawks rolling with Conway, Levensteins, and Frost back-to-back in the batting order for North Georgia. It's got lots of veteran leadership there in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th slots in the batting order. As Levensteins sees a ball there, count's going to be 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch to Levensteins. That one's going to be left outside of the zone. Counts now 2-0 for the senior. As Lund gets his signal, still got his eye on Conway at first. There's the pick-off attempt there, another one by the Tigers. And historically, North Georgia has had the upper hand against Salem. They're a perfect 7-0 against the Tigers. Last time they faced off was during the 2021 season, where the Nighthawks won 9-2, winning all 4 matchups against the Tigers that season. And that game was highlighted by homers from Bill Leroy and Nick Levensteins. And Levenstein sees a strike right down the middle. Count's going to be 2-1, and that last win against the Tigers secured the Nighthawks the number 2 seed in the Peach Ball Conference tournament. So North Georgia looking to remain perfect against Salem University. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Levensteins. That one's going to be tipped and fouled. Counts going to 2-2. Levensteins had a good swing on that one. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get a hold of all of it there. So we get the double P signs from the home plate ump. 2-2 count for Levensteins. We'll have another pickoff attempt there at first. And if you chose the over in pickoff attempts in the first 3 innings, you would definitely be cashing out big.
Absolutely. Jared Lund having to... He's got to try and get the runners out of his head here.
And that one's popped high into left center field. And that's going to be caught over there by the left fielder for the Tigers, giving us 2 outs.
And that's what Jared Lund needs to do. He just needs to go after the batter. His defense has really done a pretty good job so far, only giving up 2 base hits, obviously the home run as well. But if he just lets his defense do the work, it'll make it a lot easier for the Nighthawks, or for the Tigers to keep up with the Nighthawks.
And Lund, we've seen the steal attempt there from Bowen from first to second. It was able to pay off for him there, so we'll see if he sees some more success there. Hasn't gotten a successful pickoff attempt with his throws to first, and that one from Frost is going to be fouled up the right field line. Counts 0-1. Got 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. A runner on first for North Georgia. Another pickoff attempt by Lund over there at first. Count still 0-1 for Connor Frost. And the 0-1 pitch. That one's going to be just outside for a ball. Count's going to be 1-1 for the senior, Connor Frost. Frost has got Bowman on deck. Frost grounded out last time he saw the plate. And the 1-1 pitch. That one's going to be just outside. Again, count's moving to 2-1.
Good eye there from Riley Frost. Excuse me, Connor Frost.
And the Nighthawks have had great plate discipline all season long. Connor Frost ranking top 10 in the Peach Belt Conference in walks this season. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, and that one's going to be grounded over to the short, and the gather, throw to first, going to be there on time. So that's going to take us to the top of the fourth, but North Georgia striking first in this one. Riley Frost sending one over the left field wall, making this a 1-0 ball game. You're watching North Georgia baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
How do you create something that's different than everyone else? You do it differently than everyone else. Here at Copeland Creative, we specialize in telling captivating stories of wild people, wild things, and wild places. We don't just capture the story, we immerse ourselves in it. We are a diverse, multi-talented media house based in North Georgia, and if you have a story that needs told, we want to help you tell it.
Back with you here in Dahlonega, where it's a 1-0 ball game. North Georgia on top of Salem University. After the bottom of the third, Riley Frost crushes one over the left field wall. Solo home run, making this a 1-0 ball game. We'll see how the Tigers respond here as Salem University returns to the top of their batting order. Here to start the fourth inning with Luis Angarita. Tigers looking for their first hit of the game. That one's going to be crushed into left field, but a routine play for Justin Bailey. Getting a quick first out here in the top of the fourth.
Now batting number 25, Brett Ayer.
Now Brett Ayer stepping into the batter's box for the second time this evening. As we just mentioned, the Tigers looking for their first hit in this game. Salem University baseball competing in the New South Conference. Now one's going to be grounded right over to Frost, and he'll make the throw to first well on time, giving us 2 quick outs here in the top of the fourth. With Zacharias stepping back up into the batter's box for the Tigers, and Zacharias was struck out by Lott last time he saw the plate, so he'll be looking for something different here. As we were just mentioning, Salem University baseball competing in the New South Conference, their first season in the conference, and it's just the baseball program that plays within the NSAC. As Zacharias sees a ball go past him there. Count's going to be 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch from Lott. That one's going to be right down the middle for a strike, 1-1. Got some clouds starting to settle in here in Dahlonega, and due to some inclement weather, game was pushed back an hour today from a 5 p.m. start to a 6 p.m. start, and that one's going to be grounded right over to Frost, and that's going to be 3 quick outs, a 3 up, 3 down for West Lott and the Nighthawks, taking us to the bottom of the 4th. We'll see if North Georgia can extend their lead when we return. You're watching North Georgia baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Here in Dahlonega, we treasure our history.
We treasure our waterfalls.
We treasure our wine.
But most of all, we treasure our guests.
We are a family.
We treasure our community.
And we're an experience for you to discover.
Discover.
Back with you here in Dahlonega, where it's a 1-0 ball game. North Georgia on top of Salem University, and Edwin Bowman's going to lead things off for the Nighthawks. Bowman had a hit his last appearance at the plate. He's going to get another one here as he gets this one into left.
Bowman's seeing the ball well today.
Absolutely. Bowman's starting out hot for North Georgia, and here comes Justin Bailey. Bailey was walked, or sacrificed pop fly out, actually, for Justin Bailey last time he saw the plate, and it's been a pretty solid pitching matchup between Lott and Lund throughout the first 4 innings of this game, but the Nighthawks have been able to take advantage, and the Tigers, unfortunately, have not in this one.
Absolutely, you know, just a 1-run game right now. Riley Frost solo shot is really the only difference, but Tigers doing a really good job of swinging at the ball, or just not getting good looks. Maybe need to be a little bit more patient in the batter's box in the top halves, and they can, you know, try and get some better looks and turn those into some hits and opportunities to score. But they're playing right into the Nighthawks' hands right now. West Lott doing an incredible job on the mound.
West Lott's got more than a few strikeouts underneath his belt this season, or this game here in game number 1. And another pickoff attempt over there at first. And it's an 0-1 count for Justin Bailey back at the plate. And the 0-1 pitch, that one's going to be tipped and fouled back towards the net. Counts moving to 0-2 for Justin Bailey. And the 0-2 pitch, that one's going to hit Bailey. And so Lund hitting his second batter of the day. That one, Justin Bailey. And so now that's going to put runners on first and second for Andrew Sopata.
And Jared Lund for the Tigers really needs to just focus on the batters. I think being distracted by the runners is not helping him at the plate. And, I mean, that's his 3rd batter that he's hit with a pitch today. So if he just stops trying to pick off and be cheeky, I think it would do the Tigers some good.
Absolutely. He's had his eye over there on first. For a majority of this game, we've definitely got over double-digit pickoff attempts there at first, and we are just in the bottom of the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Opata. That one's going to be outside. Count's moving to 1-1. And we mentioned the inclement weather moving game number 1 back an hour, and now we've got a double header for you tomorrow between the Nighthawks and the Tigers, with game number 2 set to begin at 1 p.m. as Lund gets Opata swinging and missing there, with the series finale starting 30 minutes after the conclusion of game number 2. You can catch coverage of all the games right back here with us on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Opata. That one's going to be in the dirt for a ball. It's a 2-2 count for Opata. And we've got some more fans piling on in here to the Steiner. A few North Georgia women's basketball and North Georgia women's soccer players in attendance here tonight. And that one's hit well into center field, high into center field. And that's going to be caught by Schmidt. That's going to advance the runners to second and third for Jack Davis, who steps up to the plate for North Georgia. Davis looking for his first hit here in this one. The Nighthawks with 4 through 4 innings. So now it looks like Lund is going to have a conversation here with Shin and the rest of his infield as they try to get on the same page here, as Lund's going to have to face off against Davis, who, as we mentioned, rounding out the batting order for North Georgia, but he's definitely still a threat to get one over. We mentioned North Georgia perfect 7-0 against the Tigers with a series sweep this weekend. They could go to 10-0. We still got a tightly contested ball game here in game number 1. North Georgia with just a 1-0 lead over the Tigers. With Riley Frost crushing one between the 320 and 365 marks over there in left field. And Davis sees a ball outside of the zone. It's going to be a 1-0 count. And the 1-0 pitch to Davis. That one's right down the middle. Count's going to be 1-1. Nice little rebound pitch there from Lund. Again, runners on second and third for North Georgia. And the 1-1 pitch to Davis. That one's going to cut it close for a ball. That one looked like it almost hit Davis. So the count's going to be 2-1. And the 2-1 pitch to Davis. That one's driven high into left field, but shallow. And so now Bowman's making a break for it to home plate, and he will slide in. And the Nighthawks advancing their lead 2-0 after that RBI from Jack Davis. So now, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth, Nighthawks return to the top of their batting order with Jace Bowen. Bowen looking for his first hit of the evening for North Georgia, and surprisingly, with how consistent Bowen has been this season, he's still looking for his first collegiate home run.
He's done a great job of getting on base. I think Coach Cantrell's probably got him in the lineup as more of a contact hitter to get a runner on for some of the power hitters that follow. You know, I mean, we just saw Riley Frost hit a home run, and he's on deck right now. You know, Nick Levenstein's the DH, is sitting in the cleanup spot. So Jace Bowen, maybe not known to be a power hitter for this team, but definitely a guy that Coach Cantrell has up in the front of the lineup to get on base, whether that's from a walk or a base hit.
Absolutely. Bowen's been just so consistent all season long. That's why he's got that top 10 batting average in the Peach Belt Conference, but he sees a strike go past him there. So it's a 1-2 count for Jace Bowen. And he's got Justin Bailey over on second. And the 1-2 pitch to Bowen. That one's going to be inside for strike number 3. So that's going to take us to the 5th. But the Nighthawks advancing their lead to 2-0 after that RBI from Jack Davis sent Edwin Bowman home. We'll see how the Tigers respond when we return. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Meet Harper. Harper was born to care and always had your back. Like the time she spotted a friend's rogue retainer, a threat of a permanent overbite, and made the save just in time.
I got you. Thanks.
Today, Harper still has your back as a teammate at Truist, the bank with Truist One checking.
I got you. Thanks.
With no overdraft fees, a negative balance buffer, and automatic upgrades, it's the checking account that has your back.
Back with you here in Dahlonega as we head to the 5th. North Georgia on top of Salem University 2-0. After Jack Davis was able to get an RBI there in the bottom of the 4th, extending the Nighthawks lead by 2 runs. We'll see how the Tigers respond here with Nathan Kuhn leading things off for Salem University. Kuhn was struck out by Lott last time he was at the plate. And Lott coming into this game with 37 strikeouts, so he'll have the opportunity to take over Matthew Hurd for first on the team in strikeouts. Hurd's got 41. And that ball from Kuhn's going to be tipped and fouled. Counts moving to 0-1. So far in this game, Lott has done a terrific job on the mound for North Georgia, as the Tigers are still looking for their first hit of the game, as that pitch from Lott's going to be low and outside. It's a 1-1 count for Kuhn. And the 1-1 pitch, that one's going to be grounded up the right field line, but fouled. Now a 1-2 count for Kuhn. Lott gets his signal. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Now it's going to be grounded right over to Frost, and he'll throw to first on time for the first out here in the top of the 5th. And Frost sliding over from second base far over into that shallow right field territory. And we've seen lots of success so far in this game with connections between Frost and Bowman over at first.
And that was a really good example of what I touched on earlier. That was only a 4-pitch at bat. And, you know, Wes Slott's obviously doing a great job, and all credit to him. But Salem's not really making it super difficult for him by, you know, letting him have 10 to 15 pitch innings where, you know, Wes Slott could probably pitch the whole game if they do that. If they continue to do that.
Absolutely, and we know Coach Cantrell is not afraid to go deep into his bullpen, but with the way Wes Lott has been pitching so far in this game, you can imagine he's going to be on the mound for a majority of this game if not the entire game for North Georgia potentially.
Absolutely. And with Westlaw doing as well as he is, you know, Coach Cantrell in the doubleheader tomorrow, if he can get an entire game out of one pitcher and just, you know, maybe not be able to use Westlaw tomorrow, but have just one short of a full bullpen, then, I mean, really, that's perfect for the Nighthawks going into this weekend.
And Lott getting another strikeout there on Tyler Shin. So now Sam Schmidt's going to get a crack at it here for the Tigers. With 2 outs in the top of the 5th, no runners on for Salem. And that one's going to be popped up high into left field. And it does not look like North Georgia's going to be able to make a play on it. That one hits the top of the bullpen for the Tigers. It's going to be an 0-1 count for Schmidt. See some action going on there in the visitors' bullpen. Got nobody warming up in the Nighthawks bullpen. Not too much of a surprise, though.
Absolutely no surprise there.
And now it's a quick 0-2 count for Schmidt. And the 0-2 pitch, that one's going to be high and outside. Counts moving to 1-2. Lott trying to make quick work here of the Tigers. Another 3 up, 3 down potentially. And the 1-2 pitch from Lott. That one's going to cut it a bit close. It's going to be a 2-2 count.
Deuces run wild.
Indeed they are. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. No runners on for the Tigers.
A little bit of a shift on in the infield.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. And that one's going to be low. Now a full count for Schmidt.
I believe this is the first full count that a Salem batter has had so far, and we're in inning number 5.
I believe you are correct on that one, and that one's going to be hit right to Frost. And yet again, the throw to first well on time, and that connection has been key for North Georgia through the first 5 innings in this game. It's still 2-0 North Georgia on top of Salem University. We'll see if they can extend their lead when we return. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
How do you create something that's different than everyone else? You do it differently than everyone else. Here at Copeland Creative, we specialize in telling captivating stories of wild people, wild things, and wild places. We don't just capture the story, we immerse ourselves in it. We are a diverse, multi-talented media house based in North Georgia, and if you have a story that needs told, we want to help you tell it.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else.
Back with you here in Dahlonega, where it's a 2-0 ball game. North Georgia on top of Salem University, and Riley Frost is going to lead things off for the Nighthawks. And Frost had a solo homer last time he saw the plate. I'll have another chance to get one here as he leads things off for North Georgia, but he sees a strike go by him there from Lund. Count's going to be 0-1, and Lund so far in this game has pitched a pretty solid game for the Tigers, and that one's going to be popped up high into shallow left field. And that is going to be caught by Loho for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th. We were just mentioning Lund has been pretty solid on the mound for the Tigers so far in this one. Unfortunately, his offense has been unable to get anything going, especially in those gaps.
Yeah, absolutely. Making contact with the ball on short at bats. Need to try and lengthen those, which we saw with the last batter in the top half, but now they got to try and find some gaps and get some runners on, because if they don't get any runners, it's going to be pretty tough for them to find a way back into this one.
And Conway up to bat. He grounds this one to the short. He gathers, makes a throw to first on time. there for 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. And now Levenstein's stepping back up into the batter's box for North Georgia. Levenstein's looking for his first hit here in this game. And this Tigers defense looking for a quick 3 up, 3 down by North Georgia as Levenstein sees a strike there. The count's going to be 0-1. The 0-1 pitch to Levenstein's. That one's right down the middle. So a couple of good pitches here from Lund makes it a quick 0-2 count for the senior Nick Levenstein's. And the 0-2 pitch gets Levenstein swinging and missing on that one. So we got another 3 up, 3 down, this time courtesy of the Tigers. And that's going to take us to the 6th, where North Georgia still leads this game 2-0, and you're watching North Georgia baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
With 6 locations across Northeast Georgia, Howard Brothers Outdoor Power Equipment and Hardware is trusted by both professional landscapers and residential homeowners for all their outdoor equipment needs. To learn more about the family-owned business that keeps Georgia green, visit howardbrothers.com. Bryan Properties is a commercial real estate brokerage firm serving Northeast Georgia. Located in nearby Cumming, Georgia, Bryan Properties specializes in commercial real estate along the Georgia 400 corridor. For more information on Bryan Properties, visit bryanproperties.net. The UNG bookstore is operated by Barnes & Noble and is located in the Chastity Building beside Starbucks in downtown Dahlonega. Fans and students can visit in person or online at ung.bncollege.com for all your Nighthawk apparel and textbook needs for the upcoming season.
Back with you here in Dahlonega. It's a 2-0 ball game. Nighthawks on top of the Tigers. We'll see how Salem responds here with Trey Hissam leading things off for the Tigers. Hissam was struck out by Lott last time he saw the plate. I'm sure at this point Lott has taken over for first place in strikeouts for North Georgia. He's pitched a terrific game so far for the Nighthawks in this one. The 1-0 pitch. That one's going to be popped up high into shallow right. And Bowman is there to make the play for the first out here in the top of the 6th. And now Ben Matos is going to step up into the batter's box. Matos grounded out last time he saw the plate. He'll be looking for a different outcome here. The Tigers looking for their first hit in game number 1. Now it's going to be tipped foul. The count's going to be 0-1 for Matos. And because of the absence of some key seniors on this roster to begin the season, the younger players on this team have had to step up into the spotlight. And now that these younger players have gotten more chances at the plate, that one's going to be grounded and fouled over into left. It's an 0-2 count. Because these younger players have gotten more chances at the plate, Riley Frost has improved after a fantastic freshman campaign last season. Jace Bowen emerging as one of the best hitters in the Southeast, and a lot of other players on this roster have been able to see the plate more and improve with each game this season. And now that you've got vets like Tim Conway and Nick Levenstein inserted back into the lineup, the sky really is the limit for this team, don't you think, Cooper?
Absolutely. The veteran presence, especially nearing playoffs and conference tournaments, is going to be a deciding factor for teams. You know, having that veteran presence, they've done it before, because it's different at every level. It's going to be huge.
Absolutely. And now that you've got the first and second year players improving this season, having been in plenty of important games, combined with the veteran leadership on the squad and the legendary head coach Tom Cantrell, this is a team, as you mentioned, that can be scary come playoff time. Now it's going to be bunted. And the throw to first on time, and another 3 up, 3 down as Wes Lott and this Nighthawks defense has been rolling in this game. That's going to take us to the bottom of the 6th. It's a 2-0 ball game. Nighthawks on top of the Tigers. You're watching North Georgia baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Chick-fil-A of Dahlonega is the presenting sponsor of the Nighthawk of the Week program. From supporting local charities to hosting school spirit nights, Chick-fil-A restaurants are committed to giving back in ways that are most meaningful to their customers. If you're looking for great food nearby, it is Chick-fil-A's pleasure to serve you. United Logistics is a veteran-owned and relationship-driven company with a goal of being an integral part of the community, providing safe transportation and shipping solutions, and being recognized as one of the leading providers of transportation nationwide. Visit unitedlogistics.net for more information. Established in 1984 in nearby Clermont, Georgia, the Chattahoochee Group is a local company that's grown to include construction, streetscaping, modular walls, metal buildings, disposal, concrete, sports field installation.
Back with you here at the Steiner, where it's a 2-0 ball game. Nighthawks on top of the Lions. North Georgia up to bat. Connor Frost leading things off for us here in the bottom of the 6th. As that pitch from Lund's going to be high and right outside of the zone. It's a 1-0 count. And North Georgia with 4 seniors in their batting order and starting lineup with Conway, Levensteins, Frost, and Bailey. So lots of veteran leadership on this team, as we were just mentioning before we went to commercial break, combined with the emergence of Jace Bowen and the solid play from Riley Frost, Bowman, Opata, Davis, and others. Sky really is the limit for this team. Counts now 2-2 for Connor Frost. And the 2-2 pitch from Lund. That one's going to be tipped and fouled. Count staying at 2-2. And so far, both teams have been rather quiet offensively, but it's been North Georgia defense that has shined here in this game, led by the pitching from Wes Lott. And the full count pitch to Frost. He swings and misses on that one. Lund getting the strikeout there. So now Edwin Bowman stepping back up for North Georgia. Bowman 2 for 2. And his appearances at the plate today. We'll see if he can remain perfect here with a hit. As Bowman grounds this one to the third baseman, and he bobbles it, makes the throw to first, and it's not going to get there on time. So Bowman still stays hot here for North Georgia. He's gotten on base every single time he saw the plate.
Number 2, Justin Bailey.
So now Justin Bailey stepping up for North Georgia. As we just mentioned, Bailey, one of the 4 seniors in the starting lineup for the Nighthawks. Bailey playing over in left field for North Georgia this afternoon. Got another pickoff attempt there at first, as Bailey still awaits the pitch. Now it's going to be high and outside of the zone. Count's going to be 1-0. I think with these pickoff attempts coming to first from Jared Lund, slows down the tempo a bit for the Tigers in this game. As we saw in the bottom of the 5th, they were able to get a quick 3-up, 3-down from North Georgia. Didn't see a pickoff attempt there.
Absolutely, and that's just what Salem needs, is just focus, take it one batter at a time. You know, if a runner gets on, just go back to the batter, because you can get all 3 outs of the plate. You don't have to get them on the bags. And They need to take advantage of, you know, the good pitching that they've had, because he's getting it over the plate.
And
so
2-0 pitch. That one's going to be tipped and fouled. And Cooper, you're exactly right. Lund's pitching has been pretty solid here in this game, but he's been a bit distracted over there at first base. And we've only seen one stolen base attempt in this game from Bowen, and he was out over at second. And so I think you're exactly right. He's just got to keep his focus on whoever's at home plate. Take it one batter at a time as we see another pickoff attempt there at first.
just another instance that caught stealing. Just another instance of letting the defense do the work. That's exactly what you want to do.
And the 2-1 pitch to Bailey. He bunts here up the left field line, and the throw to first is not going to get there on time. Another Bailey bunt, a staple for the senior, as he's able to get on first and advance Bowman to second. And now with one out here in the bottom of the sixth, Andrew Sopata stepping back into the batter's box for North Georgia. Sopata looking for his first hit here in the game for North Georgia. The 6th overall for the Nighthawks. As that pitch from Lund's going to be outside, it's a 1-0 count. Still see some action over there in the Tigers bullpen. And there are crickets chirping over there in the Nighthawks bullpen.
Probably the most quiet it's ever been through 6 innings, at least so far this season.
It's now a 2-0 count for Opata. Here comes the pitch. That one's going to be just outside. 3-0. And Lund's got to be careful here. Another ball would walk Opata and load the bases for Jack Davis. And the 3-0 pitch. That one's going to be down the middle inside for a strike. Rebound pitch there from Lund and makes it a 3-1 count. And the 3-1 pitch to Opata as he hits this one well into right field. That's going to be caught by the right fielder. That's going to advance Bowman over to third. And so now runners are going to be on the corners for Jack Davis. Davis has got an RBI in this one.
Number 4, Jack Davis.
Potentially get another one here with Bowman over on third. An RBI he had earlier in the game, he was able to score Bowman. So we'll be looking for a little deja vu here for Jack Davis. Got another pickoff attempt there at first. And the tempo of this game is definitely slowed down just a bit as we were cranking out batters here for both North Georgia and the Tigers.
Yes, the Nighthawks have done a little bit better job of keeping the innings going, both by getting base runners and just taking more pitches, you know, forcing Lund to throw a couple more to really earn those outs.
Counts 0-1 for Jack Davis.
And that's why it's 2-0 in favor of the Nighthawks right now.
And the 0-1 pitch. That one's going to cut it close for a ball. It's a 1-1 count for the sophomore Jack Davis. And it'll be interesting to follow the pitching story for Salem, as that pitch is going to be in the dirt. Play is not going to be made. And Bailey turning on the burners, advancing to second. And now runners on second and third for Jack Davis.
Good job there from Tyler Shin to not try and force a throw to second there with Bowman sitting on third. And that's a throw to second is exactly what Bowman and the Nighthawks need or want there.
Absolutely. Nobody home over at second for the Tigers. If Shin was going to make the throw over there. But it's now a 2-2 count for Jack Davis. And as you would say, deuces are running wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Runners on second and third for North Georgia. And the 2-2 pitch. Now it's going to be low for a ball. Now a full count for Davis. And we've got a big pitch coming up here for Lund, because another ball would load the bases for Jace Bowen, as the Nighthawks can potentially return to the top of their batting order. And the full count pitch, but he gets Davis swinging and missing on that one. So that's going to take us to the 7th. North Georgia still on top of Salem, 2-0 in this ball game. You're watching North Georgia baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
She has her whole life in front of her and already has a world-class heart team behind her. And so does every generation of her family, thanks to Georgia Heart Institute. Every day, our cardiologists, heart surgeons, and vascular surgeons bring breakthroughs that save and improve lives for generations. So whether you need heart care today or in 2073, we'll be here with the very best for your heart. Georgia Heart Institute.
Meet Harper. Harper was born to care and always had your back. Like the time she spotted a friend's rogue retainer, a threat of a permanent overbite, and made the save just in time.
I got you. Thanks.
Today, Harper still has your back as a teammate at Truist, the bank with Truist One checking.
I got you. Thanks.
With no overdraft fees, a negative balance buffer, and automatic upgrades, it's the checking account that has your back.
Back with you here in Dahlonega, where it's a 2-0 ball game. Nighthawks on top of the Tigers. We'll see how Salem responds here in the top of the 7th inning, where Angarita is going to lead things off for the Tigers. And Wes Lott with 5 strikeouts in this game. He has officially taken over for the most strikeouts on this team with 42. And Matthew Hurd right behind him with 41 this season. So Angarita stepping back into the batter's box for the Tigers, as Salem's still looking for their first hit in this game. Now it's going to be tipped and fouled. Count's going to be 0-1, and their first hit going to come late in this one as we're in the 7th inning. And the 0-1 pitch from Lott. That one's going to be outside for a ball. Count's moving to 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch from Lott. That one's going to be grounded off the glove of Lott, and the throw to first is not going to be there on time. Bowman cannot make the play. There's that throw from Frost was in the dirt, and it rolled over to Bowman. So now Salem gets their first hit of the game off of an error from, actually it's not an error from North Georgia. And it looks like Coach Cantrell is going to come out to the mound and check on his pitcher, as Lott may have taken a shot to the hand there.
Yeah, it looked like it bounced up off the mound, a little bit odd. And
That would definitely be a big blow to North Georgia. There's a lot. With 5 strikeouts in this game, has held the Tigers scoreless. He looks to be okay, so a lot will get in potentially a couple warm-up pitches here. And so now the Tigers have a runner on for the first time this evening, with Brett Ayer stepping into the batter's box for the Tigers. Ayer grounded out last time he saw the plate. We got a pickoff attempt there at first. Angarita on his behind there. And that pitch from Lott going to be outside. It's a 1-0 count for Brett Ayer. As Lott gets his signal from Davis. Got another pickoff attempt over there at first. Lott gets his signal. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Now it's going to be inside for a strike. Counts 1-1. And Lott's got his eye over on Angarita at first, as he leads the team in runs scored this year. So he's definitely a threat to score whenever he's on base for the squad. Got another pickoff attempt there at first. And we mentioned earlier the tempo of this game slowing down just a bit from all the pickoff attempts we've seen over there at first base. And the 1-1 pitch, that one's going to be bunted by Ayer, and the throw to first on time for the first out in the top of the 7th.
Sack bunt there to try and advance Angarita into scoring position.
And Ayer does so successfully.
Number 29, Caden Zacharias.
And now Caden Zacharias back up to bat for the Tigers. Zacharias was struck out last time he saw the plate. And he sees the ball go past him there. Count's going to be 1-0. And the sun is beginning to set here in Dahlonega with a later start time for game 1 of the series, 6 p.m. Now it's hit well into right field. That's going to be a routine play over in right for Tim Conway.
Great throwback in there to stop Angarita from advancing to third.
Absolutely. So that keeps Angarita on second, with Nathan Kuhn back up to bat.
Number 6, Nathan Kuhn.
Kuhn has grounded out and struck out in his 2 appearances at the plate this evening, so he'll be looking to get his bat warmed up here. But now he's got Angarita, as you mentioned, Cooper, in scoring position over there on second, as that pitch from Lott's going to be outside, counts 1-0. Davis doing a good job corralling that ball in, making sure Angarita stays on second. are finally starting to see some action over there in the Nighthawks bullpen.
Absolutely. Had somebody, can't tell exactly who was out there, but I think they trotted out there to start tossing a ball after the mound visit, after the base hit.
It's now a 2-0 count for Kuhn. And it looks like Davis is going to step up to the mound and have a little chat here with Lott as they try to get back on the same page. Davis trying to calm down Lott a bit here, who has been solid through 6 innings for North Georgia. He's finally allowed his first hit here in this game in the top of the 7th. We got 2 outs, a runner on second for the Tigers. And the 2-0 pitch, that one's going to be left outside of the zone for a ball. It's a 3-0 count for Kuhn. Don't anticipate a swing here on this next pitch from Lott. And the 3-0 pitch, that one's going to be inside for a strike. 3-1. Lott getting the rebound pitch there. Makes it a 3-1 count. Lott gets his signal. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. That one's going to be hit well into right field, but fouled near the Nighthawks bullpen. And so what was a 3-0 count for Kuhn, it has quickly become a full count. This will be a big out here for Lott. He's able to leave Angarita stranded over there on second. Here comes the full count pitch. And that's going to be in for strike 3. Lott with his 6th strikeout of the evening. And that's going to take us to the 7th inning stretch. North Georgia still leading this game 2-0. We'll see if they can extend their lead when we return. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Back with you here in Dahlonega. It's still a 2-0 ball game. North Georgia on top of Salem University. The Nighthawks return to the top of their batting order here in the bottom of the 7th with Jace Bowen leading things off for North Georgia, and he sees a strike go past him there. Counts 0-1 as the Tigers are still rolling with Lund on the mound. The 0-1 pitch to Bowen, and he hits this one well into right field. That one's going to get down for a base hit for Jace Bowen as he notches his first hit of the evening. It's only a matter of time before Bowen is going to get the bats warmed up. And here comes Riley Frost back up to bat for North Georgia.
Number 23, Riley Frost.
He's been hitting the ball far today. He's only able to get it out of the park once, but
Frost has got a hit, as you mentioned in this one, that home run crushed over the left field wall. Another pickoff attempt from Lund over there at first. As Frost still awaits his first pitch. Lund still got his eye on first. And that pitch is going to be outside. It's a 1-0 count for Riley Frost. Frost has got the senior Tim Conway on deck. And another pickoff attempt there from Lund. And at this point, I think we've cracked 20-plus pickoff attempts from Lund in this game.
Certainly close if we haven't.
Another one there. Count still 1-0 for Riley Frost.
Be interested to see if there really is a correlation between number of pickoff attempts that Lund has.
That one's hit well into right field as Frost continues to stay hot here for North Georgia.
And the number of base hits that the Nighthawks are getting. I feel like, both times that the Nighthawks scored were a lot of pickoff attempts. So 2 in a row right there makes it, after the base hit, runners on the corners and no outs.
I mentioned earlier, it'll be interesting to see how the pitching plays out here for the Tigers closing out this game, as Lund has now allowed 7 hits through 7 innings. Now Tim Conway up to bat. He shows bunt there. That one almost hit him in the foot. The count's going to be 1-0. Lund finds himself in a bit of a jam here. Runners on the corners for North Georgia. No outs in the bottom of the 7th. Comes the 1-0 pitch to Conway. That one's going to be outside as well, 2-0. And the lights have started to come on here at Bob Stein Stadium as the sun continues to set. That one's hit well into right field. And the right fielder's going to make the play there as Bowen makes a break for it home, and he will get there. So another unselfish play from Tim Conway scores a run for North Georgia as they extend their lead 3-0.
Number 21, Nick Levenstein.
Really just a clinical performance from the Nighthawks, offensively and defensively so far today.
Absolutely. They have had their way with the Tigers so far. Now Nick Levenstein's up to bat with Frost over on first. Just 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Levenstein sees a strike go past him there. It's an 0-1 count. And the 0-1 pitch to Levenstein's. That one's outside, just outside of that top left corner of the zone. It's a 1-1 count. We've seen time and time again the seniors make some great unselfish plays for North Georgia. We saw Conway there with the sacrifice out, with advancing Bowen home. Another insurance run for North Georgia. It's still a 1-1 count for Nick Levenstein's. Here comes the pitch from Lund, and that one's tipped and fouled. 1-2 count for Nick Levenstein's. Levenstein's looking for his first hit of the evening.
Had one all the way to the wall earlier in the game, but didn't quite get out.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Levensteins. That one's going to be, again, just outside that top left corner. 2-2 count. As we mentioned earlier, Levenstein's returning from a hand injury that was keeping him sidelined for a majority of the regular season. He's the designated hitter for North Georgia, batting cleanup. And he pops this one high into shallow center field. And the shortstop, Ayer, is going to make the play there for the routine play, giving us 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th with Connor Frost back up to bat for North Georgia. Frost also looking for his first hit of the evening. He's grounded out and been struck out by Lund in all 3 of his plate appearances this evening.
Two groundouts and a strikeout swinging. See if he can get on base here.
He sees one go right down the middle. Counts 0-1. Still got Frost, Riley Frost that is, over there on first. Got yet another pickoff attempt there at first. Lund has enjoyed playing a bit of catch there with Zacharias over at first base. The 0-1 pitch to Frost. That one's hit high and well into left center field. That's going to be a routine play there for the center fielder, Schmidt. So that's going to take us to the top of the 8th. North Georgia extending their lead 3-0. We'll see if the Tigers are able to claw back into this one when we return. You're watching North Georgia baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Chick-fil-A of Dahlonega is the presenting sponsor of the Nighthawk of the Week program. From supporting local charities to hosting school spirit nights, Chick-fil-A restaurants are committed to giving back in ways that are most meaningful to their customers. If you're looking for great food nearby, it is Chick-fil-A's pleasure to serve you. United Logistics is a veteran-owned and relationship-driven company with a goal of being an integral part of the community, providing safe transportation and shipping solutions, and being recognized as one of the leading providers of transportation nationwide. Visit unitedlogistics.net for more information. Established in 1984 in nearby Clermont, Georgia, the Chattahoochee Group is a local company that's grown to include construction, streetscaping, modular walls, metal buildings, disposal, concrete, sports field installation, site work, and more. To learn more about the Chattahoochee Group's wide range of project offerings, visit chatgroupinc.com.
Back with you here at the Steiner. It is now a 3-0 ball game. Nighthawks on top of the Tigers. And what has been a clinic defensively for North Georgia and West Lott. Lott allowing just 1 hit in this game and 6 strikeouts through 7 innings. We'll see if his success continues here as we head to the 8th with Shin leading things off for the Tigers as Salem looks for their 2nd hit of the evening. Shin was struck out by Lott last time he saw the plate. He swings hard and misses there. It's an 0-1 count. And over with North Georgia softball, the #1 ranked team in the country, coming off of splitting a doubleheader with Auburn Montgomery this past Tuesday. And after an astonishing 38-game winning streak, Columbus State and Auburn Montgomery have come into Haynes and Carolyn Hill and proved that the Nighthawks are indeed human. And Cooper, I know you've been able to cover North Georgia softball this season. What do you think is the biggest thing that the Nighthawks have to tighten up a bit as they head into the final stretch of the regular season?
Well, you know, obviously they're a great team. There are very few holes on that team, and you know, they didn't even play really bad games against Columbus State. Obviously, they ruled them in Game 3, got it back on Sunday. And they only lost Game 1 by a run. But that Game 2, is obviously that 19-10 scoreline sticks out as a bit of an outlier. There were no errors that game from the Nighthawks or the Cougars. Really just came down to Cougars kept hitting the ball. They couldn't have missed when they swung if they tried to. So
Number 4, Sam Smith.
dropped one later in the week, but I think they'll be fine. They just need to keep playing their game. I'm sure Coach Davenport's got it all figured out, and I think they'll be just fine when it comes to conference tournament and postseason play.
Absolutely. Still with 40-plus wins this season, as that one's grounded over to Frost for the first out. Here in the top of the 8th, North Georgia softball is always going to be a threat come postseason play, both in the Peach Belt Conference and in the NCAA Division II Southeast Regional Tournament.
Number 23, Trey Hissam.
And they may slip from that number 1 spot in the nation after splitting the doubleheader to Auburn-Montgomery. But more likely than not, they will still remain in the top 5, probably in the top 3 minimum, I would say. And the sky really is the limit for this team. A national championship is definitely what North Georgia softball has their eyes set on this season.
Absolutely. They've been flying sky high all season long, and I don't expect that to change despite rough 2-3 day stretch there.
And they've got a 3-game series against Georgia College this weekend, starting tomorrow. And that series is going to be on the road over in Milledgeville. North Georgia has been perfect on the road this season. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Lott. And that's going to be a strike. It's now a 1-2 count for Trey Hissam. As Lott gets his signal, here comes the 1-2 pitch. And yet another strikeout for Wes Lott. Make that 7 for the sophomore.
Just an incredible outing so far from Wes Lott.
Now batting number 36, Ben Matos.
So now Ben Matos stepping back into the batter's box for Salem. As the Tigers are looking for their second hit of the evening. And that pitch from Lott's going to be left outside the zone. It's a 1-0 count. We were just mentioning North Georgia softball, of course, still dominant this season with a 41-4 record. They're still undoubtedly been one of the best teams in Division II softball in the nation. And that's going to be another routine play there for North Georgia, bringing us to the bottom of the 8th, where the Nighthawks still lead this one 3-0. We'll see if they can extend their lead even more when we return. You're watching North Georgia baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Here in Dahlonega, we treasure our history.
We treasure our waterfalls.
We treasure our wine.
But most of all, we treasure our guests.
We are a family.
We treasure our community.
And we're an experience for you to discover.
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 The heart of the Georgia mountains.
The heart of the Georgia mountains.
Discover the heart of the Georgia mountains.
The mountains are open.
Back with you here at the Steiner, where it's still a 3-0 ball game. Nighthawks on top of the Tigers, and for the first time in this game, we have a pitching substitution, and now pitching for the Tigers is number 5, Keegan Oliver.
Now batting, number 24, Edwin
Oliver, a graduate student out of Riverhead High School, Raphine, Virginia. 6'1" pitcher, has a 3.19 ERA this season. He's pitched 31 innings for the Tigers, allowing 20 hits, 17 runs. He's walked 15 batters and struck out 39 of them. He's allowed no home runs this season. And he's going to have to face off against Edwin Bowman for his first assignment, and he throws a ball there on his first pitch. Counts 1-0 for Bowman.
And that's a tough ask for pitcher today to come in and have their first batter be Edwin Bowman, who's gone on base all 3 outings so far, 2 base hits, and reaching most recently on an error.
So now it's a 2-0 count for Bowman. And that pitch is going to be outside, and so 3 straight balls thrown here. Wouldn't be shocked if Bowman neglects to swing here. And the 3-0 pitch from Oliver is going to be outside, and so Oliver pitches 4 straight balls there, walking Bowman on his first assignment, and now he's going to have to face off against Justin Bailey. Bailey's also got a hit in this one.
Number 2, Justin Bailey.
He had that bunt up the left field line. Was able to get on first and advance some runners for North Georgia. As Oliver throws his first strike. Counts 0-1 for Justin Bailey. And the 0-1 pitch. Bailey bunts here. That one's going to be tipped off his bat. Fouled. Now an 0-2 count for the senior. Got no outs here in the bottom of the 8th. An 0-2 count for Justin Bailey. Got Bowman over on first. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Not quite yet. Got another pickoff attempt there at first. So Lund ends his day on the mound, allowing 3 runs on the board and 7 hits for North Georgia. We'll see if Oliver is able to quiet down the bats for North Georgia as he gets Bailey swinging and missing there for the first out in the bottom of the 8th. Here comes Andrew Sopata back up to bat for North Georgia. Sopata with a couple sac flies here in this game. As that pitch gets away from Shin, that's going to advance Bowman to second. Now if Opata is able to get something down in the outfield, should be enough to score Bowman potentially. And the 1-0 pitch to Opata. He tips this one fouled. Back towards the net. It's a 1-1 count. And the Nighthawks find themselves in 6th place in the Peach Belt Conference with a 23-16 record, 13-11 in conference play. They find themselves in a bit of a traffic jam with Columbus State and Georgia College right in front of them with a 12-9 record. Lander right behind them in 7th, sitting at 11-10. The Nighthawks have won 9 of their last 10, 5 in a row. So we could potentially see some switch-ups in the seeding for the Peach Belt Conference as we head to postseason play. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Opata. He swings and misses on that. Counts 2-2. USC Aiken sitting in firm position at first place with a 25-14 record, 17-4 in conference play. Although they have slipped a bit recently on a 3-game losing streak, with Young Harris right on their tails with a 30-11 record, 18-6 in conference play, and they're on a 5-game winning streak. Counts 2-2 for Andrew Sopata. Still just 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. A runner on second in Bowman. And the 2-2 pitch to Opata. That one's going to be grounded into center field. And Opata gets one in center, and they're waving him home here. And Bowman scores another run for North Georgia, and they now lead this one 4-0. And Opata all day has been leading the way for North Georgia, scoring some runs, some sac flies there with the grounder into center field. Extends the North Georgia lead to 4-0.
Absolutely. Had a good day so far. That was his first base hit of the day. Got hit by a pitch in his first at bat, but he's advanced some runners when given the opportunity.
Steal attempt there from Opata. Ball gets away from the second baseman into center field. And that's going to be stolen base number 16 for the speedster, Andrew Sopata. Just the second stolen base attempt we've seen in this game. First came from Jace Bowen, who was out at second. Opata avenges him here. Able to slide into second well on time. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Davis. He swings and misses on that one. It's going to be 0-2. Davis has got Bowen on deck. And the 0-2 pitch to Davis. He swings and misses on that one, and so Oliver gets the strikeout on Davis. And so now North Georgia returns to the top of their batting order with Jace Bowen.
Back up to bat number 29, Jace Bowen.
Bowen started out this game a little cold. He's since warmed up. He had a hit last time he saw the plate. We'll be looking for more of the same here.
Scored a run off of that base hit. He ended up crossing home plate on a sac fly from Tim Conway.
And he sees a fastball right down the middle for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch to Bowen. He swings hard on that one and misses. So now it's a quick 0-2 count for the freshman. As Oliver gets a signal, 0-2 pitch, steal attempt there from Opata over at third. And he slides in safely, and he'll make a break for it home. And the speedster, Opata, adds another run on the board for North Georgia. It's a 5-0 ball game. The Nighthawks taking advantage of some wild pitching there from Oliver.
Both of those throws getting away from the intended target. And that's what got Opata around the bases.
Absolutely, and the Tigers have no room for error in this one. Now they've got an even bigger hole to claw out of in the top of the ninth as that pitch to Bowen cuts it close. And so again, Deuces running wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. No runners on for North Georgia after Opata was able to make it home. And the 2-2 pitch to Bowen, and he hits this one well into left field. And Bowen continues to stay hot for North Georgia as he'll round his way for 2, and he will make it there easily. And that is why Chase Bowen leads the Peach Belt Conference in hits. Perfect example for you there. He's got another one for North Georgia, pushing his total to 56 on the season. And here comes Riley Frost, the man who's right behind him in the standings. Frost with 54 this season. After 2 today. Sees a ball go past him there. It's a 1-0 count. And with that stolen base from Andres Opata, he's now got 17, puts him in a 3-way tie for 3rd place in the Peach Ball Conference in stolen bases with Marco Kalina and James Eckert. Now it's going to be grounded over to the short. He will gather, make the throw to first on time for out number 3. So that's going to take us to the top of the 9th. North Georgia leads this game 5-0. The Nighthawks with a chance to close things out when we return. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
How do you create something that's different than everyone else? You do it differently than everyone else. Here at Copeland Creative, we specialize in telling captivating stories of wild people, wild things, and wild places. We don't just capture the story, we immerse ourselves in it. We are a diverse, multi-talented media house based in North Georgia, and if you have a story that needs told, we want to help you tell it.
Back with you here in Dahlonega, where North Georgia leads this game 5-0 over Salem University. As we head to the top of the 9th, the Nighthawks with a chance to close out the game with who else on the mound? Wes Lott, who has been terrific in this game. And he pitches one high and outside of the zone. Count's going to be 1-0 for Jose Lojo. And the Tigers are guaranteed to see Lojo, Angarita, and Air at the plate here in the top of the 9th. Lojo rounding out the batting order for the Tigers. But they can return to the top with Angarita and Air, who are on deck. And the 1-1 pitch from Lott. It's going to be a 1-2 count for Lojo.
Got a very tall task ahead of them here in the top of the 9th, especially after giving up 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th.
And the 1-2 pitch from Lott gets another strikeout underneath his belt. Make that 8 for Wes Lott. So now the Tigers return to the top of their batting order with Angarita.
Back up to bat, number 1.
He does have a hit in this one. He's got one of the 2 hits for the Tigers in this game. He swings and misses on that pitch, counts 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch from Lott. That one's going to be grounded right back to him. Great play there from Lott. Gathering that ball, making the throw to Bowman over at first, excuse me. And now the Tigers down to their potential final out in this one. We'll see if Brett Ayer has something to say about that. Ayer looking for his first hit in this game. Now it's going to be grounded up the right field line and fouled. And I believe that Coop has an interesting stat here on the man on the mound, Wes Lott.
Wes Lott's had a great day today. He's got almost double-digit strikeouts, but the one fielding error that the Nighthawks had, or the one base hit, was called an error from Angarita, and so one strike away from a no-hitter.
And that one's going to be outside. Ooh. A 1-2 count for Ayer.
Wes Lott needs one strike for the no-hitter. Infield has the shift on heavily.
And the 1-2 pitch to Ayer. That one's going to be low and in the dirt. So yet again, Deuces running wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs at the Steiner. Lott gets his signal. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and that one's grounded into right. And Lott unable to get the no-hitter here in game number 1.
Shutout still on the table.
Shutout still on the table. Still been a great game for Wes Lott.
Number 29, Caden Zacharias.
And so now, Caden Zacharias going to try to extend this game for the Tigers. Zacharias looking for his first hit. We'll see if he can build off of some of that momentum Ayer's set up for him. Pickoff attempt there at first. And now it's going to be high and outside, a 1-0 count. Lott has only walked one batter in this game in Shin. And the 1-0 pitch, that one's going to be inside for a strike, 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch, now it's going to be high, just outside that top left corner of the zone, 2-1 for Zacharias. He's got Kuhn on deck. And the 2-1 pitch. Now it's going to be popped up high into foul territory. That one's actually going to soar over the bleachers here at the Steiner. Yet again, Deuces indeed running wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, a runner on first for the Tigers. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one's going to be outside. So now, for just the second time in this game, Lott has pitched a full count. And the full count pitch. That one's popped up high into center field. But Opata makes the routine play there. So the Nighthawks take game 1 of the series 5-0, courtesy of the shutout from Wes Lott. 8 strikeouts in this game. And Cooper, any final thoughts on this one?
Well, I'd just like to apologize to Wes Lott for jinxing both his perfect game and his no-hitter. but also a great job to him and the entire Nighthawk team. Just really well executed on both sides of the ball. And, you know, if you're Coach Cantrell, I mean, that's what you want every day.
Absolutely. And so now the Nighthawks bullpen well rested for games 2 and 3 tomorrow, after the Nighthawks just saw Wes Lott on the mound here in game number 1. And that's going to do it for us here at the Signer. Your final score, 5-0. The Nighthawks take game 1 of the series, getting their 6th win in a row and improved to 8 games over 500. And we'll be back with you tomorrow at 1 p.m. for coverage of our doubleheader between North Georgia and Salem University. A big thanks to everyone on the Nighthawk Sports Network team working behind the scenes to make this one possible. On behalf of Cooper, Wow, and the rest of the NSN crew, this is Robert D. Clementi saying thanks so much for watching. Again, your final score from Dahlonega, 5-0, Nighthawks on top. Until tomorrow, good night, everyone.